Hi there, I'm Sphinx Akashaa, the champion of Bards, and the creator and proprietor of the Everbright Archive. We like to tell stories here, and the best stories are told with a cup of hot, soothing tea. I'm really proud that our show is affiliated with one of the best tea shops in the multiverse, Friday Afternoon Tea. They're a fantastic family-owned company based right here out of the Pacific Northwest, and they offer amazing teas and tea blends that are made for geeks and by geeks. They specialize in incredible blends based on some of your favorite fandoms. My favorite tea right now is called Number 9 for the Tomb. It's an aged white tea inspired by Tamsin Muir's Locked Tomb trilogy, and that's just one of the fandoms this tea shop is inspired by. To learn more and get some amazing teas of your own, visit FridayTea.com and use the code MULTIVERSE. That's MULTEAVERSE at checkout to get 10% off your total purchase, because we're friends now. See you out there on the Storied Path.
Within each of us is a storyteller and a story waiting to be told. Universes of our own making that we breathe into life with our very being.
And we tell these stories to live, to relate, to entertain, to understand, and to connect. For we are the stories that help others to understand themselves.
We tell stories that are funny, sad, heroic, common, and fantastical. For we are all these things and more.
And when we come together, share our universes with one another, we create something special. We create a multiverse.
Here, at the center of the multiverse,
we welcome you to sit,
get cozy,
and listen
as we traverse the storied path. Here, we welcome you to the Everbright Archive.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back wherever you are, whatever time zone you happen to be when you're listening to this or watching this. Welcome back to the Everbright Archive. I, as always, am your host and your current storyteller, Sphinx Akashaa, your current champion of Bards. And I, as always, am joined by my lovely table of amazing storytellers, bards within their own right, to tell a lovely tale, to tell multiple lovely tales. I will introduce them to you, starting with our amazing, our iconic, our wonderful storyteller. She basks in obscurity, but is just the most effervescent icon you would ever meet. The one, the only, Brynniursa.
Effervescent?
That's right,
I don't even know what that means. What does it mean?
It's bubbly.
Bubbly. I'm effervescent. Yay. Well, hey there, hi there, ho there. Mission accomplished.
Always when I take a sip of tea, too.
Yes.
Just...
Intentional. Well, hey there. I am Brynniursa. I bask in obscurity. I am going to come slightly out of obscurity because I have been sick, but I am healed. So, yeah, that's me. Effervescent and basking in obscurity. And if you want to check me out other places, that's my name everywhere. Especially if you want to check out a cool zombie AP called The Echoes of Actor. It's pretty okay, you know? It's pretty good. You might want to give it a look-see. But right now, I am part of the Everbright Archives, and I am Jodie Bank. The Moth! It's great.
Amazing. I love it. And we'll go next to our resident gentleman outside of myself. He's a lovely, wonderful sweetheart of a man whose afro I am immensely jealous of. Give it up, everyone, for Bardic Sweet Tea.
Well, hello there, everyone. My name is Sweet Tea. I can be found on all the socials at Bardic Sweet Tea. I'm super pleased as punch to be here. And today I'll be playing Malachi Davis, who is just a guy. Is that with a question mark?
Yeah, the question mark reads, for now? I don't know what you have planned, but clearly it's something. So we'll see how that turns out, I guess. Question mark. And you can also be found, I'm told, playing a lovely zombie thriller game.
Why, yes, my goodness, you're absolutely correct. I am also in this exact same zombie TTRPG that our lovely Brynniursa had also mentioned. So if you want to see me there, I'm there too.
Yes,
it's almost like Bryn drags me along with almost everything, and I just go happily.
Absolutely,
that sounds about right.
Drag you along. Absolutely, you can't escape me. It's your life now. You knew who I actually did not know who I was when you invited me in, but I'm here now. I've stolen all your left shoes. Where are you stuck with me?
But she just dragged me along, and I'm just like, I'm okay with this.
I love the bit where she just admits to stealing all your left shoes. Like that's
you know what? As long as I know where they are, you know, that's important.
It's just so that, you know, it doesn't forget to take me along.
Yeah. Do you bring a left shoe with you every time he takes you along places?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Different left shoe. Like here's one of them. This isn't the one I need. Too bad.
It's like it doesn't match, but I mean I got two, so it's cool.
Icons don't need matching shoes, sir.
I mean, if they have different heel heights, it'll be awkward to walk in.
Icons figure it out.
Icons make that a swagger and roll with it.
Fair enough.
And you're an icon, Sweet Tea.
Apparently, I'm an icon by association because this woman is just the queen of icons. So
you're not an icon by association. You are that Sweet Tea. Mm-hmm. You are the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I did.
Agreed. All right, throwing it over to epic and amazing human being. They are one of the executive producers of the show. They are fantastic, glorious. I have a litany of phrases and descriptions that do not do them justice. But I would just say the absolutely gorgeous Madness Diamond.
Well, hiya. I'm Madness Diamond, but since we're friends now, you can call me Diamond. I use they, she pronouns, and I do a lot in the TTRPG space. You can find me as a performer on a lot of things, but you can usually find me in the behind the scenes or in the background doing producing, doing directing, doing admin things, doing community management. I do a lot. I do a lot. For a lot of good people, because I love them. So, they're worth the time. I am definitely one of those people where if I make time for you, I'm putting you in my Google Doc. I'm putting you in my Google Calendar. You live there now. And so it's, yeah. Which means that you are stuck with me because it is permanent. Because I put it in a Google Doc and a Google Calendar. But yeah, so you can find me everywhere at Madness Diamond. If you want my fully updated actual play schedule, which I still need to update, again. You can find that at beacons.ai/madnessdiamond, which will be in the links for all of people's socials. But yeah, if you want to see what I'm up to, you can find me on all the social medias where I am present, which are in my Beacons link. But it's all the ones that matter currently. And if you find a place that I'm not on, I'll probably find it eventually and claim my username for the betterment of some spaces. And as far as other projects I've got going on, myself and our lovely Sphinx Akashaa, that beautiful, beautiful man, which is his full title, mind you, we will be in an upcoming actual play series with Gehenna Gaming called Violence Against Nature and Eldritch Automata Actual Play, where I myself, because at the time of recording, my trailer has dropped from my character, Intelligence Reformation version 3, aka IR3, the manufactured pilot type, who is the pilot of the prototype automata Omen. It was a very fun thing to record with a lovely cast. It is an all BIPOC player cast with the lovely Just Kyle as our GM, and he is also the one who wrote the Violence Against Nature scenario. And it's this lovely, terrifying, eldritch horror, liminal space, mecha, post-apocalyptic story of what happens when there is violence against the nature of the world. And where humanity falls in that, which is interesting since I'm playing an android, kind of, sort of. So it's fun. But other character trailers will hopefully be out by the time that this is up, and then you can hopefully then binge the entirety of our 3-parter. It was a great time.
So
lots of things happened. Hope you love the makeup I did for it. It took me 5 hours to do all of that body paint each time. Because I do not play when it comes to body paint.
It's so good.
But yeah. And then probably by the time that this comes out, PAX East will have already passed because I will be at PAX East with Gehenna Gaming. But Gen Con is most likely on the horizon, and I will again be at Gen Con, but I will be running some things. So you'll be able to find on my socials what events I have confirmed and what I'm looking to basically build tables for, to highlight sex workers in the TTRPG sphere and let them play some fun games, or people who are adjacent to sex workers and have been big champions for us. Because I do a lot of nonprofit work, and I myself am a sex worker. I do a lot of cool stuff. I do a lot of stuff. But yeah, that's me. And tonight, or today, this time zone, whenever you hear this, I will be playing Lysandra Agni. I am definitely not an arsonist, but I am a matchmaker. You got a crush? You got a crush on somebody? Why don't you do a little dance and then have a little kissy kiss? Lysandra's got a good record with them so far. I think they've gotten 3 couples together.
Yeah, you are
2 of them being purely NPCs. I am 3-0. So yeah. Thank those fabulous points.
Hell yeah. Oh, I love it.
And if you hear chirping in the background, that is my cat. Ichigo Kurosaki will not be silenced.
No, she will not. And we like it.
She is orange.
We are normally also joined by the amazing Selkie Cove, but they had something come up, and so they will not be able to join us. But hopefully they will be back next time. They usually play Blaidd, Leary, the now robot snipering hoverboard riding teacher, as all of our cast are playing teachers. But yeah, you can find all of them, all of us, in the Beacons link that's in the show description. You can also, in that Beacons link, find links to our Ko-fi if you want to subscribe and get some really cool extra content. Or you can find our Discord link and hang out with us in our Discord channel, the Everbright Archive and Tea House, where we just kind of nerd out about stories and other things. because we're all a bunch of nerds and a bunch of geeks, and we're trying to build a really cool, loving and comfy community of storytellers, and I'm here for that. Let's see. I'd also like to thank our affiliate, Friday Afternoon Tea. They are a fantastic Latino queer run tea shop in Seattle. But if you go to their website, fridaytea.com, you can actually order their wonderful selection of teas and tea blends that are based around very, very cool, very, very nerdy fandoms. One of my favorites is from their Studio Ghibli collection. It's called... oh, no. I've forgotten what it's called. Well, one of them is called Nightwalker. That's based on the Nightwalker from Princess Mononoke. And there's the other one, Good Witch Bakery, is the one I was trying to think of a second ago, which is from Kiki's Delivery Service. And both of them are really lovely, comfy teas. Nightwalker is an uncaffeinated herbal tea blend, and I believe Good Witch Bakery is an oolong blend. It's very good, very, just, both of them you can just, sit on a rainy day or any day with like a little pastry, hot tea, some nice soothing music, and just relax. It's just a good time. And if you go to their website, I have a little page there where you can see some of my favorite teas, and it will change as the seasons go, because a lot of these tea blends are seasonal blends. So yeah, it's a great time. Please check out Friday Afternoon Tea, and if you like what you buy, why don't you use our this code I'm going to give you, Multiverse. That's MULTEAVERSE, and you can save 10% on your purchase at checkout. And you're helping Friday. You're helping us. It's a good time all around. Everybody wins. Let's see. I don't think I have any more announcements or things, so we can just get right into episode 6 of our show. We are out of the prologue. We are officially now in Act 1 of our story. Episode 6, entitled, Hey, Let's Go. When we last left our heroes, our 4 who had been summoned from an earth far away and brought here to this dungeon world called Phaedos. They were discovered by a rather amazing and hilarious high priestess named Kali Zephyrin. She is the high priestess of the Temple of Solim, and was brought to the attention of an agency known as the Circle. And some agents from the Circle came from the so they appeared in a city or a town called Dawngate, and these agents came from the capital city of Dawnseed. Duke, who is our very large, very sexy werewolf man. We also have Curator Hammerfist. She is an artificer, tinkerer, and magitech genius. She helped Blaidd go from human to robot, and it was a great time. We also have Desdemona Arnak, aka Desi, our half-orc spiritist and fighter. She's the combat specialist. And all 3 of these folk helped train, and as well as Mistress Kali Zephyrin, helped train our heroes for the last 6 months. And got them kind of up to speed on what's happening in this world. They're in a world where they now have to traverse the 12 levels of Phaedos in order to reach the top level and defeat the creator of this world, the Guided Dreamer, in order to not only free themselves, but free everyone here. Other beings who had been summoned, people who were born of the beings that have been summoned over the last 10,000 years. We ended last episode with the end of a combat trial, a 2-part combat trial, where during the second part, Desi actually joined the trial with these automatons that Curator had built. And Desi and the automatons put some hurt on the heroes, and the heroes put some hurt on them too. But thanks to a collection of fabula points, actually, we were able to not only end the fight, but fan the flames of a romance that had been brewing since Desdemona had arrived in Dawnseed, getting Desi and Malachi together finally, which pretty much ended the fight, if we're going to be honest about it. The heroes then inquired, after being healed, as to whether or not they would be made members of the Circle Guild, and almost on cue, the doors of the theater that they were training in swing open, and in walks in a tall, robed woman in these lovely royal blue, purple, and gold robes. She's got almost this dark, deep mahogany skin, piercing blue eyes, a halo of white hair in tight curls, just almost like an afro of curls. Strides in with a very smooth, measured steps. And she says to all of you, "Well, I hope I'm not interrupting anything." And as Callie, Zephyrin, Duke, Desi, and Curator all turn towards the voice, and they all immediately bow. And you all watch as this woman walks towards the stage where you were all standing. Forgive my intrusion. Hello. My name is Ikisha Varro, but please call me Iki. I am the Archon of the Circle. And I am pleased, so pleased, to finally get to meet the four of you. And it's about that moment that you kind of hear some like buzzing and sparking happening beside you all, and you notice that Blaidd is beginning to spark a bit from their shoulder and from their chest where they had been hit before. And Curator goes, "Oh, hi, Iki. One moment, please." And the chair moves her over next to Blaidd, who kind of gestures at their body. And Curator goes, hang on, don't say anything. Don't say anything. And we'll begin to kind of passively kind of tinker and see like what's going on. Callie Zephyrin, though, stands up and says, "Archon, Lady Archon, what are you? You were not expected here." And she bows, and Iggy just kind of waves her off. I do not buy a lick of this bullshit. You have never ever called me Archon. Just continue as you're showing off for our guests, and that's not necessary. And Callie just kind of laughs. Well, yes, of course you're right, but to give them at least, I want to give them a good impression of you. Just stop it. And she walks over to all of you, and she hand on her chest and just kind of a bow. It is an honor and a pleasure to finally meet you. And she goes by each of you. Blaidd Leary, if I'm saying that properly. Jodie Bank, I believe, and gestures to Jodie, and then gestures to Malachi. Malachi Davis, I've heard so much about you. And then to Lysandra, and you must be Lysandra Agni. Are the stories true about you?
Which stories?
It seemed to mention a lot of arson in them.
No, none of those are true.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Not a single one. Do not listen to the people who have told you that. They are liars. Or instigators of some kind of sort.
Oh, okay. That is okay. I will remember that for future reference. It is, I'm pleased this punch to meet all of you, and I welcome you to Phaedos. And Curator, who's still kind of like tinkering with Blaidd and kind of like looking at their paneling and stuff. Not that we're not happy to see you, but what are you doing here? And Iki just kind of, right, yes, that's a very fair question. I am here to accompany all of you back to Dawnseed. There has been a rather interesting incident's not the word. Occurrence that requires our hero's attention. Duke kind of stands. Waiki, what kind of incident are we talking about here? And Iki's kind of, well, it's a delivery has been made in the capital city, addressed specifically to our four heroes here. And it would seem that they are the only ones who are able to open it.
Look at that, guys. We're already getting fan mail.
I hope that's what it is. But it is large and kind of heavy and sitting in the middle of the town square. No one can seem to move it, or as I said before, open it even. And it's... there are some concerns that it may be dangerous. So the hope is that one of you can, or all of you, are able to come to Dawnseed and open the thing. And the Reaper droid kind of walks over.
Do they have to leave right away?
And Iki kind of gives the droid this kind of knowing look of like, first it's confusion and then it's kind of there's a note of recognition in her face. It's like, yes, are you gonna hang out in there forever? And the droid kind of goes,
Well, no. I was going to formally introduce myself, but things got a little interesting. And yeah.
Is the interesting part whenever you got a little too knifey with us and you tried to kill us because you were having too much fun and I had to bop some sense into you?
And the droid turns to you.
Yes, that is part of the interesting part. Yes. Well, I guess the jig is kind of up.
And then turns to Carrera.
Carrera, please don't be mad about this. This is going to, this may affect you more than anyone.
And Carrera kind of looks at the droid. Is this going to be an explanation as to why you have the feelings and the emotions and all of the things, all of the weird things that you probably should not have, that I definitely did not program into you? And the head doesn't so much nod, the whole body just kind of nods, kind of an affirmation.
Yes.
And then the head splits open. This long groove suddenly appears in the center. And from the groove, the two halves begin to slowly pull themselves down, revealing a kind of almost glass housing unit. And the glass housing unit also separates and begins to pull itself apart. And from within the glass housing unit, there is a dim but slowly growing brighter blue light that seems to be spread in several dozen tiny pinpricks of light that seem to be swirling about as this smoke kind of begins to rise from the housing. And as the smoke clears, there is this brass metallic circular orb that begins to rise up from the housing. And at a glance, there seems to be along kind of the rear part of the body, as it begins to float away from the automaton itself, there are etchings in these like strange runes. Some of them that you all have begun to learn. Jodie has learned more about them than the rest of you, being the lore master. You know that these are arcane runes. But on the front, near where this like center mass of lights are, there is this plating that looks almost like dragonfly wings that are bent back around the face of this orb, that seem to move with expression individually and sometimes together. And it almost looks as if it's trying to configure itself and sync itself to itself as it is now floating out of the hub. And as the lights coalesce into one singular point of light that begins to kind of move around like an eye looking at things. And it turns to Carrera and says,
Hi, Basis.
and Carrera stops what she is doing, looks up at this orb, and says, No. No, that's no. You're not. You can't. You're not. The orb kind of blinks, and
hey there, this is Magnus, Goblin Artificer Extraordinaire, and you're listening to the Everbright Archive, a TTRPG actual play anthology podcast series. I hope you're enjoying the show. Now, let's get back to it and see what these crazy kids are up to.
Yeah, it's me. Sorry again for all the weird. I probably should have done this sooner. But it's me, Big Sis.
And Carrera's face goes from this like shocked look to like very stern, very focused, and moves away from where Blaidd is standing and approaches very slowly. No, I still do not believe you. You need to, if you are who you say you are, and I don't believe that you are, you need to tell me something not only you and I would know about. And the wings on the orb, the left wing kind of arches up a bit like an eyebrow raise, and the light kind of becomes this like soft green as it seems to consider, and then it goes back to itself. The wing comes down.
Right, there was that time in the Circle headquarters when that really nice Minotaur man showed up, and you professed your undying love for them, but in an elven language that I don't know that the Minotaur actually spoke, but we certainly do, thanks to your mom. And then you proceeded to almost fall out of your chair as he was leaving because you said, and I quote, "That man's got a fine ass if I ever saw one."
And Carrera speeds up to the orb, puts her hands over the orb's as if trying to find its mouth to shush. Hey, nope, that's enough. Don't have to say anything else. Nope.
But you and I were the only ones there, so there's no way that anyone else can know about that.
And Carrera's like, nope, just stop it. And Iki is just kind of standing there with her arms folded, and Duke and Kali both are kind of staring, their eyes narrowed in confusion, and Duke just goes, "Little Carrera, is that you?" And the orb turns, shifts to face Duke.
Hey, Duke! Yeah, it's me! Surprise!
And the wings, all four of the wings kind of rise up as if he's gesturing with his hands. And Carrera, like, reaches out and grabs the orb, which is about the size of a softball, and, like, brings it down. How did this happen to you? And the eye light blinks.
Honestly, I don't really know. Last thing I remember is being in my workshop, and then I felt something kind of sting me in the back of my neck, and then there was darkness, and then I was here inside of this room.
And Carrera looks at the drone. Did you intend to somehow end up in this drone that you built? And Carrera kind of blinks again.
No, not sure how this happened or why my consciousness is now, here. But here we are. Here I am.
And rises from Carrera's hands and turns to me to face the four of you.
Hi, heroes. I'm Carrera. I'm Carrera's little brother. Although I'm usually a goblin, but for some reason or another, unbeknownst to myself, I seem to now be trapped inside of my invention. Again, I apologize for all of the violence. It was kind of an accident. I kind of got way too into it. Sometimes when I take over another machine as I'm learning, it also kind of takes over me at the same time, and I'm not always in control. But I am now. I'm fine, and great to meet you.
And then flies over to Lysandra and kind of floats there and blinks.
I hope that we can still be friends and stuff.
Little orb child, I would die for you and I would kill for you.
Now hold on. What lesson are we instilling there in this child?
I would kill for you, little orb child. You are adorable.
Now hold on.
We love the enthusiasm, Lysandra. Maybe reword it a little bit.
They're too. Now
We already decided we were going to kill the guided dreamer. What is the difference to kill for this child?
because children don't need to kill.
No, that's why we're here. Because we're the
Exactly.
teachers.
So we don't need to be
Exactly.
telling them that it's a possibility for a bit.
It's fine.
You have to wait till they're 8.
Wait, why 8
How old are you?
specifically?
Listen.
I'm 15.
Oh,
See?
alright,
See?
okay.
I can kill for this child.
We can
child.
kill. Yeah, alright, we can tell them.
Yes.
Last saying. This is what I was saying. This is what I was saying. Alright, are you listening?
My ears are big, but they are not deaf.
Okay, that's good to know. Alright, just sometimes children get scared if they know that you're gonna kill people.
This child tried to kill us.
Did they? Kinda poor at it. Did you try to kill us?
I thought it was just a sparring match.
Baby, were you trying to kill us?
I mean, I did get a little too into the actual fighting, but I would never have killed you.
Yeah, see, they weren't trying to kill us.
I got maybe a little too enthusiastic about the whole thing.
Alright, so...
Exactly.
Yeah, we gotta
Just-
take some lessons later, baby girl. Alright?
Boy.
Boy,
Gender?
baby
Do you
boy.
have gender?
Oh, no! My apologies.
I am a male. Although according to some goblin cultures, I would be a man. But because my sister is half goblin, I am still just I am a teenager. Hooray!
It's fine. I'm good with teenagers. You need your fire buddy. I will be your fire buddy until proven otherwise.
What's a fire buddy?
Yes.
Some
I will teach you about that later.
something that
Fire
you
safety.
hopefully won't need.
I mean, it's just basically having a friend you can depend on. So that if something is on fire, or if you're on fire, your fire buddy will throw a blanket on you that is basically fireproof. Or they will hit you in the face with a fire extinguisher foam.
Okay, so
to put to you out if you are flammable. Because you are now made of circuits and glowy things, so you might be extra flammable with weird magic flames.
See, the problem is, Lysandra...
So I will be your fire buddy.
Lysandra, most people don't have to worry on a regular basis about being caught on fire.
That was my entire class.
I know you are a very special case. Not calling you an arsonist.
I got you kissed by your crush, and this is... I got you kissed by your crush, and this is how you repaid me, Malachi.
That is rather, yeah, that's not cool, Malachi.
All I'm saying is, most people don't require a fire buddy.
And most people don't require magical intervention to kiss their crush who they've been pining over for the last 6 months.
Hey, do you want some ice for that burn?
Desi kind of like twirls a hair. You were pining for me?
Oh.
Well,
There was pining going on. There was enough pining for a forest. Or a cleaning solution.
Called Pine Sol. Wait. That doesn't exist here.
Wait, what?
Everyone else kind of looks confused, and Elder Carrera goes, "What is Pine Sol?"
A cleaning solution.
We just use magic.
Fabuloso is better, but yeah, well, we didn't have magic, but we do have a president who used to be a pop star.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
There's a country on the 7th floor that has one of those.
We must go there next.
Yeah, Anthem is a fun place.
Yes,
Anthem, right?
but there's a gift for us or a message for us that only we can answer. I'm Carrera, older Carrera. Can I take your brother with me wherever I go? I am kind of attached now, and I do not want to leave him.
And Carrera kind of looks at her orb brother, looks at everyone else, and just kind of, well, I'd like to run some tests first once we all get to, I guess, Dawnseed, and see if I can't figure out what happened to him, and what to do about it if anything can be done. Do you know what happened to your body? Is your body dead? And Carrera turns to his sister, and for a brief moment, the eye flashes purple and then goes back to the blue.
No, I don't know, but I don't think so. I feel like I would know if my body were dead, but then again, I've never been in this form before, so I don't know.
Hi there, I'm Sphinx Akashaa, your champion of Bards, and you're listening to the Everbright Archive, a TTRPG actual play podcast anthology series. I really hope you're enjoying the show. Why don't we get back to it? The other Carrera just kind of, okay, well, at least you can still laugh, so that tells me that your soul is intact, at least, and probably encased. It's like looking closer at the orb, probably somehow encased in that thing. Yeah, we should definitely get you looked at, and then, I mean, if we can't figure out how to get you out, then, I mean, I don't see why you could not be able to I don't know. The journey's going to be a dangerous one, now that I think about it. And Carrera kind of lifts up like a foot, and all of the wings like come out.
Oh, don't worry about that. I made this drone to be combat ready and resistant to several different elements, like fire.
And Duke goes, well, that's That's all right. Well, considering who you're going with, that might be necessary. And then looks at Lysandra. No offense, love.
Okay, I will not take offense to that. So I can take the little orb boy with me.
And Carrera just kind of puts her head in her hands. Yes, once we've got testing and things done, and I guess you all have to get your message. If we're doing that, we should probably head back to Dawnseed fairly soon. And then turns to Iki. Iki, how did you get here? And Iki's, oh, right. I came on the magic train. It's actually, I told it to wait at the station for at least a day. We could leave as early as tomorrow morning, if you like. I understand that you all have passed your test and could probably use the rest. So, and as far as the discussion about being inducted into the circle, if that's something you want, I don't see why not. Why you couldn't be actual agents of the organization. That's a if that's something that you would like to do or be.
I don't personally see why not. I mean, any objections?
I mean, at least this time I didn't start as a substitute teacher who ended up a permanent teacher because someone decided to give up on teaching halfway through the maternity leave. So, improvements. The way I see it. I do have a bit of a question. Is there any way the circle might have records of what kind of heroes came through, of the child variety, so we can maybe track down children who might have been our students?
And Iki nods. We take records of everyone that got summoned that we trained personally. Yeah, we could give you a list if you'd like.
Have there ever been any that have, not been trained by you all? Are they, freelancers?
The circle has not been around for the entirety of the 10,000 years. So before the circle was formed, it's very likely that there were students that came before, or kids that came before, that we did not reach. So that would be a very old listing, and it's very possible that in that time, depending on what they might have been transmogrified into, they may or may not be dead. Old age and things. But can give you a list of the ones that we did keep track of and did train. There have been a couple of cases where they chose not to be trained by us and just chose to just live here as opposed to trying to find their way or fight their way home. So, I mean, we have names, but don't know where they went. But, if that's something you want to do and you want to search for them, you're more than welcome to do so.
Is there any chance that we got brought here ahead of schedule?
Yes.
Do you think that there's going to be another group coming whenever they were supposed to?
I certainly hope not. That would be awkward. And looks at each of your hands. You already seem to bear the appropriate markings, so there's no precedence for this. So this is the first time that any heroes have been summoned outside of the known schedule. So I can tell you that I hope not, but I don't really have an affirmative or a negative to that question.
Do you want to sniff my hand? You can lick it if you'd like. You just have to sniff first.
I'm going to pass on the sniffing and the licking. Carrera sent me reports of the sniffing and licking that went down about 6 months ago, and I appreciate the offer, but I'm going to say no.
It was purely scientific. I mean...
Yes,
we even got Malachi to do it.
That I was forced, for the record. I did.
That is in the report.
You were not forced. You promised to be weirder, and it was the first step to your weirdness.
That's also in the
report. The second one was making out with the beautiful, strong lady.
I don't think that's weird at all.
And Iki's eyes go a bit wide at that. Oh, that finally happened. Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Oh, that makes me happy. That makes me really happy. Congratulations.
I am a very good matchmaker.
It's about time. Yes, I've read the reports about you as far as that's concerned. Yeah, you've got quite the record so far.
I'm very, and Lysandra turns and looks at Duke, effective at my craft. Aren't I, Duke?
And Duke kind of blushes and kind of looks at Kali Zephyrin, and Kali Zephyrin puts her both arms around one of his arms, and she's, yes, very effective.
I am a matchmaker. That's why I'm good with fire, because fire is light from matches being made. Not the A word. But now I heard about a Minotaur, and now I need to go find out about a Minotaur.
And Carrera puts her hand in her hands.
Association there.
Look, it's fine.
Listen.
He works for Duke, and it's and Duke kind of perks up. Oh, you mean Gemini? You've got a thing for Gemini. Oh, that's lovely. Good on you. He's a good bloke. He's a good bloke. And Carrera blush just deepens. I'm never gonna hear the end of this. And little Carrera just kind of bobs over to her, and kind of like nudges at her head.
Sorry. You asked for an example, and that was the first thing that came to mind.
And she just kind of puts a hand on the orb and pats it very much in the same way that she would you would expect her to pat a child's head. And just, I'm not gonna get used to that, and just looks over at the orb, and the wings seem to shrug, and just,
Yeah, that's okay. I'm not sure I'm gonna be used to it anytime soon, either.
and a very like pencil thin arm seems to emanate from or contract out of the orb, and there is this little like clawed appendage that kind of spreads from the end of the arm, and then proceeds to pat his sister on the head, and she looks up as the arm kind of retracts back into the orb. There are things I don't know anything about this thing you've created, but I'm very, very fascinated with that. Do you mind if I study it? Again, gonna take some getting used to. And the orb kind of bobs up and down.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't think you can damage me, or at least I haven't been damaged yet. So, I mean, I don't know what the parameters of this thing is. I haven't field tested it yet. But, here we are.
And Akashaa will kind of, all right, well, perhaps we go back to where and like looks at Callie. Where are they based out of right now? And Callie goes, they're based at Uncle Og's at the moment. And okay, we'll go back to Uncle Og's. We'll get a nice meal, kind of discuss some things, and then we'll head out to we'll get you packed, and then we'll head to Dawnseed in the morning. Does that sound agreeable to everyone?
Sounds perfect to me. I look forward to seeing Dawnseed.
I am all for this idea. Sorry, my cat.
There's a theater.
I am all for this idea.
There's a cat that lives in the theater. It's fine. And so
she's orange. She can't help it.
That's quite all right. I love it. And so you all are led back to Uncle Og's. And generally speaking, like, Uncle Og is very, very, like, pleasantly surprised, but also slightly confused at Akashaa being there. But, like, serves you all food and things, and you all have, like, a good night. We're gonna skip time just a little bit. And you are on the Magitrain. You've seen the outside of the Magitrain when it initially came into town, when it brought Carrera, Desi, and Duke to town. But you're now inside this Magitrain, and it is sleek and comfy. The interior of it looks like something that would have been at home on the Orient Express. It's very, like, well laid out. There's a full bar. There is it is. I love that I get to use this term. It's bigger on the inside, for sure. And it is gorgeous. Carrera and Blaidd and Little Carrera are all together on one side of the train. Carrera's working on some parts for Blaidd, while also kind of occasionally, like, looking at and, like, studying Carrera. Carrera is actually helping. You can see now that two of those little arms have come out. One of them is equipped with an arc welder that is, like, helping to, like, solder things or cut things apart for Blaidd. And Blaidd is kind of sitting there in standby mode or sleep mode, and on the visor of their face, in digital letters, are just Z's. Just keep moving across the screen every, like, 5 or 6 seconds. Sitting not far from the three of you are Desi, Callie, Zephyrin, who was elected to go with you all, Duke, and Iki. And the train, as you've noticed, doesn't seem to have a conductor or a driver. It is running by itself. You noticed when you all boarded the train, Iki opened the panel on the inside of the door, clicked in a few commands, and then once everyone was in, the door closed, the train shifted, and you were on your way. It has been about 2.5 hours since you began your journey. What is going through all of your minds? Like, how do you spend this journey on this train?
I feel like Malachi would be spending his time on the train going through various plays in his head, just trying to find ways to turn them into dramatic things that he can say later with his spells. That's how his spells operate.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Jodie, how are you spending your time on the train?
Jodie is looking out the window, and she's thinking of all that she's left behind. And as she sees this big, vast, open world, she realizes it isn't that much. A little trailer waiting for her to come home. A little trailer where her daddy never came home. And yet, despite everything, part of her wants to get back, just in case he happens to walk through that door. And she's looking out the window and singing, rolling down the track, clickety-clack, wind in my hair and a bag on my back, mountains high, rivers wide, I've got the whole world on my ride.
And it's funny that you mentioned mountains and rivers, because the track itself runs along the length of the Luminarium River, which would be on the eastern side of the train. To the west, if you look out the window, you see the vast Serpentine mountain range, which covers almost the entire north to or south to west of Solin. And you can see, you guys are within this 3-hour ride, you're almost to Dawnseed, but you start to see, peeking out over the tops of the northern ridge of that mountain range, these gray and black leaves, this canopy of leaves, treetops that seem to sway, and you see all manner of creatures as you are zooming past. Some of them, these very hybrid animals. There's a platypus bear. There is I want to say it's an otterhawk that flies by, tries to keep up with the train for as long as it can, and then just kind of gives up and flies away, and flies over and dives into the river on the other side. And there's all a variety of these strange and new animal species that you've never dreamed of seeing. And as you are having these thoughts of what you left behind, your students suddenly pop into your mind. And you are hoping, or you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. what do you immediately think of as your students pop into your mind?
Are you asking all of us?
I'm asking you, Jodie, because the students are popping into your mind.
I'm thinking that I didn't send them here to be alone. I sent them here to come home. And if somebody stopped them, there ain't nothing that can stop me.
Cool. Lysandra, how do you spend the trip heading up to Dawnseed?
Lysandra is spending the majority of the trip. The first half is looking over their staff and figuring out new forms it can take. It's built like a collapsible dragon staff, and it's just kind of like tinkering with it a little bit because they're not a tinkerer, they're not an artificer, they're not very good with these kind of things, but they know this intimately. This is theirs. This is part of them now, and so they're just kind of working out timing, where it might be. They're trying to coordinate it with, it's like, all right, if I do this and they flick their hand, it's like making the staff change its length to where maybe it would be full body length. And it probably almost accidentally like domes somebody in the head. And like, oh, sorry, that's not. And then it puts it back to collapse it again to make it more like handheld.
Yeah.
And they just kind of keep working out like different minor movements they could use for this staff to then be able to do like closer to somebody or farther away. And then they just kind of start playing with musical melodies that they've heard since they've been in this world. Because their downtime, they spent a lot of time just walking around, just listening to the actual tempo and like the heartbeat of that small area they were in, and listening to like all the different like casual musicians playing, and they're starting to piece together like what does the actual rhythm and time signature work in this level. And then they start developing what they might be called like shadow boxing a song of their own variety for their combat in the future.
Somehow the cat's also made it
to then go with this. Somehow the cat's, yeah. And they do that kind of the first half of it. So they're tapping their foot, their little bunny foot, along with like this invisible tempo. And then they switch the time signature halfway, and they start speeding it up and slowing it down. And they just play around with that. And as they do that, their fingers are moving as if marking time in a specific way. And it's bringing up like little motes of flame that then extinguish. And it's where the flame might dance from one finger to another and then extinguish. They're playing around with like making those spectral dragons again in a smaller form just to see like, oh, would it work better in this time signature or this one? Sure. If I were to combine it with like a bachata, like which one of these like things that I've learned would work best in that kind of style, or if I was doing a tango, like which one would work best. And it's very much just, the first half is just that. The second half is being annoyed because they have a pain, like a literal itch in their back they can't shake.
Okay.
And they don't realize why.
Okay.
Until they start realizing that they feel like they're a little restless. That itch is still there, but it's also the inclination that maybe something else will happen with this new kind of person they are.
Sure.
because they were human and now they're not. They're some weird kind of antlered bunny person with fangs. And so they're just kind of like try to get comfortable, and they finally do get comfortable, but it entails basically them almost sitting backwards on the seat and then laying out on it so that they're not on their back. Or their back isn't up against something. They're on their stomach at this point.
Gotcha.
And they're just kind of still tinkering with things. But they are also paying very close attention to the way that other people in this train are interacting with each other. Because they're inherently curious. They've spent a lot of time with, like, Callie Zephyrin, Desi, Duke, Carrera, now the little Carrera. But Iki is the new one. Mm-hmm. So it's Iki kind of gets that I'm not staring at you, I'm staring in your general direction, but I'm also genuinely just curious what kind of person you are and what weird chaos you are all about.
Okay.
Because Lysandra loves some chaos.
We'll get to that in a second. But I want to go back to the first half of your trip where you're tinkering with your staff. And I'd like for you to roll me a D100.
Okay.
Oh,
a 3 on a D100.
I love that. I was aiming for a low number, and boy oh boy. So as you're tinkering with your staff, you are messing with it while it's still in its like short version, and you notice that a button has appeared that was not there before in the center of it.
I'm pressing the button. Is it a big red button?
It's the same color as the staff itself. Like you almost miss it, but it is it's not flush to the staff. It comes out just enough to where you notice it. You press the button. That's good. From either side of the staff, 2 blades suddenly, or a blade on either side suddenly just out, and you are now have this short staff that has a blade on either end.
Oh, that's just so much fun! I could stab people double now.
And once
that
no,
if Jodie hears this, I'm gonna get yelled at.
Once that happens, you notice a second button next to the first because you rolled low enough.
I'm pushing the second button.
That button, the moment you push that button, the staff falls apart in half, in 2 pieces, but connected by a chain.
Oh.
And it's as you hold both ends, you notice that the chain gets longer. And if you were to kind of hold the staff or the 2 bits out, and the chain kind of get the length of the chain is now all together. It is the length that it would be if it were still a full staff.
Oh. I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself so Jodie does not overhear and ground me. If I push the buttons again, does it go back?
It sure does. And then the blades disappear.
Jodie is so going to scold me for the devious ideas I have to use this. It is fine. I am an adult. I can make my own devious choices for the better good.
And going back to your observation of Iki seems to move about the train, talking to the members of the circle, like very casually. Like they seem to have, despite their position within the circle, they seem to have a very casual, very kind of big sister relationship to them. She seems very the only one that she seems to like have a more of kind of an even-keeled relationship with, as you notice, is Callie Zephyrin. They go back and forth as if they have. There's a different kind of bond there that you notice, and it is very. It's not a subtle bond. It is very well worn and well fought for, from what you can tell, and they share glances back and forth that almost looks as if they are speaking to each other in a way that only the two of them understand. So I'd say you notice that. Within, I'd say about 2 hours and 45 minutes into your trip, you get your first sight of the outer walls of Dawnseed as the train approaches. And it is, like, in comparison to what you saw of Dawn Gate, Dawnseed is massive. The walls are high, but the city seems to exist kind of as a hillside, and you can see these stacks of buildings and things that move down the hillside. There is above that hill, there seems to be another something floating. Maybe, from your estimate, about 50 to 100 feet above the tallest building there. And it too seems to have something jutting out. And the closer you get to Dawnseed, the more in focus and in relief that object is. It's an island floating above this city, and sitting on top of that island is a palace gleaming in the sunlight, made of pure crystal that seems to not so much refract the light so much as it absorbs it and redistributes the light throughout the rest of Dawnseed. And it's at that point that Callie Zephyrin gets up, walks over to where you all are sitting, and gestures. Well, I'd like to officially welcome you to the capital city of Solim. Welcome to Dawnseed. And it takes a few more minutes for the train to approach the wall, and there's no opening in this wall. It just careens right into the wall, and there's no crash. There's no damage. There's a moment that is darkness for all of half of a second, and then you are riding up the hill of Dawnseed. There are so many shops and homes and places of and temples, and there is one part of, as the train rolls through, you roll next to what looks like a zoo or some kind of nature preserve where these the animals are not in cages or anything. They're free roaming, but in kind of sectioned off bits. There is an entire kind of park / forest that kind of caresses the northwestern edge of the city, and the train seems to kind of circumnavigate, going first around the edges of the city, and then moving kind of in a circular pattern, a spiral pattern, further in, until it gets to the, not quite the center of the city, but close enough, where it comes upon a station. And it's not the kind of station that you would assume it would be. It's not like a grand central station where there are lots of people kind of waiting for a train. It seems more like a private station. And it settles, and you feel the train shift and droop as it settles on top of that track. And Iki gets up and, well, looks like we're here. Thank you. I had the train bring us directly to our private station in, I guess it would be the downtown area near the city center. So we can, if you feel up for it, we can go directly to the city center. It's on the way to Circle headquarters, and you can see the item for yourself that has been, I guess, left for you all.
Sounds like a plan. By the way, Dawnseed, beautiful city. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. We rather like it.
What is the big crystal place?
Oh, that's the royal palace. That is where King Valar. I would say they live there, but they don't. It's kind of like city. From what I understand, on your Earth you have city halls. Yeah, it's kind of like a city hall. So a lot of the legislation and the court system and things like that take place up there. All of the special royal ceremony takes place there. But the king and her consort live elsewhere in the city.
Oh, it's a very pretty city. Oh,
yes, we quite enjoy it. The king and her consort do not like the idea of living above the citizenry. They enjoy living with them. It's how they can get to know how to best serve.
If only our other worlds would learn from that. Our world's not that bad, but I assume other ones are probably not that great.
There are other worlds that, from what I understand, are they have not grasped that concept. I mean, there are other nations within Phaedos that have not learned that lesson either. But we try not to think less of them. They are on their own journeys, as it were, and we're doing our best across all of Phaedos to keep the peace and to help when we can. Part of the gig. And as she
So are there other while we're just walking.
Yeah.
Are there other circles in other levels as well?
Yes. Our circle is kind of the main office. But we have branches on every level. In other
Fantastic.
In just about every major civilized nation. So yes, we have agents everywhere. Because so does the opposition.
That is quite an amazing network you have there, and you haven't been here forever, y'all said.
Not everyone has been here forever. Some of us have been here a lot longer than others. And Callie, as you all are walking, Callie kind of laughs a bit. You should just tell them. And
I do believe you could just tell us.
And Iki kind of takes a breath. It's like, yes, well, there is a reason that I am the Archon of the Circle. It is because I am also its founder.
Oh.
I was with the first group of heroes that were summoned here.
And how long ago was that?
About 10,000 years.
I beg your pardon?
What's your skincare routine?
Lotion, cocoa butter, lots of water.
10,000 years and the basics still work.
And I'm from an Earth where I was kind of worshipped as a goddess, so that might have something to do with that as well.
That seems like the correct opinion. From what I have seen of you, you deserve to be worshipped like, ugh, you are a woman of women.
Oh, thank you. On my version on my Earth, I was known as Auset.
Come again?
Jodie, as well. Actually, I would like for all of you to roll me insight plus insight.
I didn't know. I thought this was going to be an RP one. I think I have one open. That might have been last time. Where's my window?
Sweet tea, or rather, Malachi. The name doesn't ring any bells for you.
That's fair.
You said insight or insight?
Yeah, insight plus insight.
For those
So for you,
listening,
that's
I got a 7.
2d10s.
Insight. What's insight? Got a 5 and a 5.
Jodie, you are. Oh, I kind of want to. One, you pass. You pass the check, but you got 2 5s, and they're each just one number away from it being a critical success. But you do pass the check. I want to make sure that see what Lysandra gets as well.
Insight. No.
Does not ring a bell for you. Jodie, the name Auset, you remember that Auset was also known in Egyptian mythology as the Queen of the Throne, the Weaver, and the Goddess of Magic. But the Greeks and the Romans called her Isis.
Writing that down. Oh. Were you part of many worlds?
They like to think that I was. I was just part of just the one.
Do you know, does Isis ring any bells?
She takes a long sigh. Caesar's people liked to call me that. Did you have Caesar on your Earth?
Did we?
Oh yeah, you did.
Okay. Sorry. We did have Caesar on our Earth. I think I know you. You're called Queen of the Throne. You were other things that I can't read my handwriting.
Queen of the Throne, the Weaver, and the Goddess of Magic.
You were the Weaver, the Goddess of Magic.
And you see Iki stand a little straighter. You see her hair, like, it's almost as if the sun is in fact behind her, but you almost get like a bit of an extra glow off of her hair as she kind of stands up a little bit straighter. Those are names I have not been called in a very long time.
Well, in a very long time, no one's forgotten you.
That's very good to hear. But yes, when we were summoned here, Callie Zephyrin, myself, and a couple of others, we were made less godlike, and we were the first to attempt and the first to fail. And so we decided to make lives here, and we helped kind of over the centuries helped build this world, or at least helped to shape it as best as we could. But
Well, looking all around that clickety-clackety train ride, I think y'all shaped up good.
Well, we had help over the years. I mean, there were several other folks from across the multiverse that came and shared their ideas of what their world was like. And of course, the folks that were born here also were a great help to all of us. It has been gratifying to watch the world grow and change from the empty place, or mostly empty place, which we found, to what it is now. So thank you for that. That's quite the compliment.
Much obliged.
And it's about this time that you reach the city square. And Iki kind of gestures to this object at the center of... And the city square is this... It reminds you... It would remind you of, like, Tuscan Italy. Of Tuscany. Paved streets, cobblestones, it's a lovely, massive fountain in the center, beautiful architectured buildings, lots of columns and lots of red brick. Very, very few buildings here that are just like wood. There's like some that are combos of like wood and tile, wood tile brick, wood tile brick cement, brick and cement. Lots of like very, very like beautiful buildings. And there is in the middle of, or like I said, in the middle of this the city, the town square, is this massive fountain. And sitting on the edge, on the southern edge of the fountain, as you come up, you see what looks like a large golden egg. About 3 feet tall. About 3 feet tall, about 2.5 feet wide. Metallic, gleaming in the sunlight. And there are runes all across in kind of like a spiral formation, starting from the bottom and moving across all the way to the tip. Jodie, I'm not even going to make you roll for this because of your lore master. You can read these runes. It's all of your names.
Oh. Y'all,
Yeah.
You see these here?
The markings, yes.
There are names.
Did they spell them right?
Did they?
They did.
They all peachy keen.
You can.
All them.
Well, that's
right.
terrifying.
You can read these.
Well, yeah, I've been my darling Malachi, light of my life. What's my weapon? What's my weapon, Malachi?
No.
A book.
Thank you, Sweet Tea. Sweet Tea did not remember, for the record.
Hey, Malachi, what's my shield?
Also a book.
Thank you. They're both books.
What you think I've been doing here?
Reading.
You think I won't know our own names if I see them in some kind of runic language?
Well, I don't know. It's a whole new language. How are you figuring it out so quickly?
What's my weapon?
Son of a biscuit, it's a book.
I've been around a lot of them, Malachi.
And then
You know
Callie's
what? I'm not gonna translate any books for you. No plays for you.
No, I would love
Callie does chime in and goes, Malachi, she has been training and learning a lot about this world, and she's learned several languages as a result, including quite a few arcane ones. While you have also studied an arcane, have learned some of those languages. She has learned some of the elder languages of this world, which includes this one, apparently. And Iki nods. Yes, this is how we knew that it was addressed to the four of you.
Huh. So,
not even our archmage was able to. Well, we tried opening it. Not even our archmage was able to open it.
Lysandra? This looks like a job for you. Or me. But
Opening a box?
you open lots of things with surprising results.
What is that supposed to be?
You know what it means.
What is... I blow up a microwave once, and this is how you treat me.
Well, what do you think? No, I'm treating you like you know how to do things.
I'm
You
just
have a
pulling
talent.
on your antenna.
I'm
just pulling on your antenna. I will help you open the box.
All right.
I would hope she doesn't want you to blow this one up, though, because I think there's something inside for us.
As soon as you say blow this up, it's one hand goes on the staff, and the staff separates into those two with the chain. I mean, I could, if you'd like it to.
No.
Or I could cut it open and then presses the button with the daggers on the ends.
Please don't. The contents inside, we probably need them.
Hold up. How long has that been a chainy thing?
All right, never mind. And then I click both the buttons and just swing it back together. Okay, how are we opening this box? Does it just says how to open an ancient language?
It does not.
All right. I need your expertise. I'm gonna touch it. What do I do? Do I just... You seem to touch
I will
them.
touch it with you.
All right.
I will touch it with you.
Okay, we'll all touch it, I
we will
guess.
hold hands.
All right.
Yes,
come on.
all of us will hold hands.
We're holding hands.
And Blaidd, who has been walking beside you, also just kind of shrugs and also goes to touch along with you.
All right, everyone has their fire buddy. 1, 2, 3, touch.
Hands on the orb. It feels cold at first. And as your hands all touch the egg, the runes that spell out your name all begin to glow. Kind of a bright silver color. And they glow for a moment, and then it's almost as if the runes are being lifted off of the egg, and they are being lifted off of the egg. And as they do, each set of runes that spell your name goes to sit in front of, or hover in front of each of you. And then they disintegrate, flying upwards into the air. And the moment that happens, you hear this cracking, or a facsimile of a cracking, as the egg begins to split. First down the middle, and then down another side, and then down another side, and then down another side. And very slowly, separating like the opening of a flower. As it opens, and there is, sitting in the center, a large silver crystal that begins to pulse very slowly, like a heartbeat. And then there's a bright light. And from that bright light, an image forms that begins to grow and rise. And standing at about 50 to 75 feet tall, you get this image of a man-shaped person wearing a black suit with a red tie, black gloves, a cape lined in fur amongst the shoulders, also black, but the fur is this almost down and silver color. And on the head is a helmet without a face, pure obsidian and black. And it gestures, staring down at all of you, and says,
My most enthusiastic greetings to the four of you. Please forgive me for taking so long to introduce myself to you. I am your host, your adversary, your target, and the very creator of this world. I am the Guided Dreamer, and I welcome you, heroes, all the way from Universe 369M-8, all the way here to my beloved Phaedos. Teachers from a far-off Earth, I wonder what lessons you have to teach me. Oh yes, my heroes. I know very well who you are. Malachi Davis. The ostentatious, theatrical thespian with a healer's heart, and a lover's heart as well. Yes. Lysandra Agni, the dark magic fire dancer. I find myself curious to see what manner of arson you get up to on your path to me. Blaidd Leary, your evolution has transformed you greatly, and your skill with the board you ride is most fascinating. How generous of you to set your sights on me. I am honored. And lastly, but not leastly, Miss Jodie Bank, knowledgeable protector, wielding your pain and knowledge in equal parts for the defense of others, all while seeking answers to long-held questions. I wonder if you are truly ready for what you will find. You have all come to attempt to fulfill the prophecy of Phaedos. I must applaud your growth and dedication to that cause. Of all of the challengers I've faced, I think that you may be the most motivated. Let this motivation continue to guide you and bring you to me. Will you be the ones to succeed and free this world from my grasp? Or will you fall, like so many have before you? Well, allow me to, as they say, up the ante. I have found myself growing rather weary of my little game the last 10,000 years. So, if you cannot reach me, or if you reach me and you fall, I promise to end this game once and for all by ending Phaedos. There. A little more motivation for you all. One way or another, you will be the last heroes summoned. And this will be the last story of Phaedos as you know it. So, heroes, I await you at the seat of fate. Come. Save them all, my great and perhaps my most worthy of opponents. And save yourselves. Oh, and do take care. Little Birdie has told me that I am not the only adversary that you have. Until our destined appointment, heroes.
And the message ends with the guided dreamer staring at the four of you, hand outstretched. The image glitches and then winks out. The egg then closes slowly. And then it too disintegrates into motes of light that fall up into the air. Iki is staring up at where that image used to be. Wow. He certainly has not lost his flair for the dramatic.
That was a message in itself.
Man came out.
What do you want?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, please.
Everybody heard that?
And you look over and you see that Curator has a small orb that has an image of what looks like the entire map of the city. And she looks up. According to what readings I just saw here, that was not just broadcast here, it was broadcast all over Phaedos.
Oh, so stealth is not an option anymore. There is no anonymity anymore.
Yeah, everybody knows you're here. And they'll know your
Everybody
names.
knows they know our government names.
Yeah.
That's a little much. I think we just got doxxed.
The man's came out with a whole ass villain monologue just to call us out.
And he sent a message that this is the last time he's playing.
He also said that he is not our only adversary. I think that is the one we have to do many boss battles, apparently.
And you start to see a number of people beginning to walk out of their buildings. This look of confusion in some faces, panic in other faces. As they all look at you. And Iki says, perhaps we should take this conversation into a more indoor and secure area?
That might be
Most
for the
likely.
best.
And as the crowd begins to progress towards you, very slowly you hear this murmuring. Are they going to save us? Are they the ones? They don't look like they're from it. Are they the four he mentioned? What? And little Curator, his light begins to kind of pulse back and forth with this kind of green and yellow light, and says,
I think that now might be a good time for that.
and whizzes off, starting to lead. And Iki kind of, all right, and Iki, Callie, Zephyrin, and Duke begin to kind of like usher the four of you towards an alleyway nearby. And the crowd's like, wait, no, wait, where are you? No, we need answers, and we please. And there is a flash of light from above, and everything stops. Everyone, the crowd look up, and floating from the sky, floating down, is another figure. A man with kind of, he doesn't seem to be dressed very ostentatious given the entrance he's making. Long, dark coat that seems to fan out at the hips towards the feet. He has long, dark, pencil-thin dreadlocks, a goatee, bright silver eyes, deep, dark caramel skin. As he floats down, and with hands reaching out, please do not worry, everyone. And you can hear his voice broadcast to everyone. We have this well in hand. Please go back to your homes. The Circle and I have this well under control. Please do not panic. The heroes will succeed. We will make sure of it. Please go home. And the crowd kind of, oh, it's the Archmage. Oh, look, is he endorsing the heroes? I think he might be endorsing the heroes. They might, well, if the Archmage says so, it must be true. And it goes from this like panicked murmuring to this almost like calming, oh, okay, like this reassured. And one by one, they start to turn around and filter back into their respective buildings or homes. And as they do, you notice that this is quite a fair number of people. Like it was getting towards like maybe 100 people starting to crowd around you that are now dissipating. And he lands in front of you very softly, and as you get a look at his face, the four of you all, and I'm not gonna make you roll for this. This memory of a teacher you worked with before you were summoned flashes into your mind. A teacher named Malachi Grant. And he kind of bows. I apologize for that. That was a bit disconcerting. I am the Archmagus. You may call me Malik. I was alerted to the four of you opening the message, and Iki immediately walks over. Archmage, I was just taking them to the main office. If you would like to join us, that would be most helpful, as we have several questions that you might be able to answer for us. And Malik kind of nods. Yes, of course. Yes, please lead on. And you all begin walking into this alley. And it's this very unassuming building that you walk towards. This very unassuming brick framed wooden door that has engraved into the door a very familiar circle that Iki touches, and the circle kind of lights up a moment, and the door swings open. Please, after you all.
Thank you for your hospitality.
Yes, well, if you're going to be...
And thank you for suppressing the weirdos.
And
I wouldn't
Malik
have said
goes,
it like that, but...
And Malik goes, well, we had to do something before it got to a full-blown panic and riots and all that stuff. Who knows? I shudder to think of what's going on some of the other levels and some of the other continents on across Phaedos right now, since that was broadcast everywhere. That's something we didn't expect, but yes, not a problem. And he walks in with all of you. The door closes, and you are in this very, very lovely... It looks like a tavern, but it's much bigger than Uncle Ogg's. There are many tables, and there are at least two different bars. One looks like it's definitely for food and drink, and the other one looks like it's for something else. There are booths and couches and seats and things. There's a large fireplace that immediately ignites when you all walk in. And there's a beautiful large floor rug that is also the emblem of the circle. And Iki turns, welcome to headquarters. So I imagine that was not what any of us expected. That message. Malik, do you have anything? Do you have any answers? And Malik kind of shrugged. I know what you know at this point. That message was definitely from the Guided Dreamer. And it was broadcast everywhere. All of Phaedos knows, and he turns to you all. All of Phaedos knows that you're here now. Oh, and I'm sorry. Allow me to properly introduce myself. And he bows low. I am Malik Emrys. I am the Archmage of the nation of Solum and consort to Her Majesty King Valar. It is my pleasure to finally meet you all, heroes. Apologies for the strangeness of your summoning. We were not expecting you either. I know that you were not expecting to be the ones to be here, but we are grateful. And the king sends her regards and her well wishes.
Apologies, what was this person's last name one more time?
Emrys. Emrys.
Thank you.
It's Emrys. Like Emrys.
I know that name. I know that name.
I know this man. I know a different version of this man.
Okay, so I'm the only person who doesn't know this person. All right.
I knew Sorry.
I'm sure this is confusing for all of you. It's confusing for us as well. As the Archmage, I am intrigued and shamed that I could not figure this out or figure out how to open this and maybe block this broadcast. But the Guided Dreamer has powers and abilities that are beyond even me. Which is why I have not been able to challenge him. But please, sit. I'm sorry, Iki. I am giving them hospitality in your place. This is your role, not mine. And Iki's like, no, you are. Please, everyone, please sit. Make yourselves comfy. And Duke kind of, maybe I'll go ahead and get you guys some food and drink going. I'll see if I can drum something up for you. And he walks off into the kitchens, leaving Callie Zephyrin and the Carreras with and Desdemona, of course, now arm like in a vice grip around Malachi's arm. This look of like worry across her face. And Emrys kind of, or Malik kind of, well, if you, I'm sure you must have questions. I'd be happy to answer as many of them as I can.
So if everyone in Phaedos knows we're here, one plus side might be that any heroes that are still around might come to our aid. Maybe
that is a distinct possibility, and he kind of nods, and you see that light go off in his head. It's like, oh yes, I think that is absolutely a distinct possibility that you may have some help. Of course, that also means that there are also factions that are sympathetic to your cause, that will also lend their aid as well. I will offer my whatever assistance I and my order, the Order of the Infinite Thread, can give to you as well. And Callie Zephyrin just kind of leans over. Mal, we hadn't really gone over a lot of the factions on the planet first. We've been more or less focusing on training. So you might want to give them more of an explanation of, what the Order of the Infinite Thread is. And
some exposition would be really appreciated, yes.
Sure, yes, I'm so sorry. Yes, the Order of the Infinite Thread is for lack of a better term, a mage guild. It's the mage guild on Phaedos. We work in conjunction with the Circle and several of the other guilds and factions here on Phaedos. But I am its Archon as well as the Archmage of Solon. So if I sense that there are at least 2 spellcasters among you. So if you would like to have association with us as well, we can provide you. We have locations all across Phaedos. We can provide you aid, materials, supplies, whatever you need.
That would be most appreciated. Thank you.
Absolutely. There is also the Guild of Architects, which are the Makers Guild, the Tinkerers, also comprise of the Gourmets and and any other kind of craft work guild. they also include, but are not limited to any of the performance skills. So, bards, dancers, orators, things of that nature. There are the Butterfly Knights, which are mainly the guild of. They're less a guild, so more of a elite army, elite fighting force, and looks at Jodie. You might be a perfect fit for them, given your your weapons, and your you have the, and he kind of makes the antler fingers, and you have your wings. You're already mostly there. I mean, they're not all larvam folk. There are other folk. The armor that they wear tends to come with their own set of wings, but you already have wings. So the armor that you would receive if you were to be accepted by them would likely have a place for you to have your wings, come out and be present.
That would be ideal.
Yeah. They are also dedicated to kind of the protection of Phaedos and the fighting of injustice wherever there may be. There's also the Deadhead Moth Guild. They are, for lack of a better term, spy masters and assassins. But they work with us. They work with various kingdoms in kind of keeping an eye on things. Unfortunately, they also have an opposite number, known as the Red Wasp Syndicate. And it is run by one of the Dark Four. Which have you been told about the Dark Four?
No.
And Emrys kind of, his eyebrows raise and then they narrow, and he turns to the Carreras and to Iki and Callie, and well, we were going to tell them, but hadn't had a moment yet, and Iki kind of made her appearance, and there was not a whole lot of time to have that and then Carrera shows up, and little Carrera suddenly bobs forward. And Mal kind of tilts his head, looking at Carrera. You are a drone now. That's new? And Carrera goes,
Yeah, I don't know how this happened. One moment I was here in my shop, and the next, there was darkness, and then I was here. I was in this body that I built, and I don't know how it happened or why it happened, but it happened.
and the other Carrera kind of looks up from her chair. Was kind of hoping you might be able to help, maybe an answer, or a lead as to if he still has a body somewhere or something. And Emrys nods, or Malik, you want to call him Emrys. Malik nods, and I'm sure we can figure something out. But he turns to the rest of you. The Dark Four. The Wasp. There is the Demon. There is the Tengu. And there is also the Eye. They are the Guided Dreamer's lieutenants. And all of them are powerful. We're not entirely certain where he found them. There are rumors and stories that they are heroes that were defeated and were seduced to his cause. But we have no way of proving that theory. But the Wasp is the creator and leader of the Red Wasp Syndicate, which is a syndicate of spy masters and assassins with less honorable practices and methods. They have been at war with the Deadhead Moth Guild for generations. And then, of course, there is the Circle, whom you have met. There are several smaller guilds and units, such as the Order of the Stitched Wing. They take care of... They're more of a kind of a humanitarian group. Humanitarian. Well, that's a weird word to say when there's more than humans here. They are a group of healers that tend to dragons that have been injured. Like I said, there are others that are, I wouldn't say less important, but are not the prime players that I have named earlier. But as far as some of those other adversaries that are coming after you, the Red Wasp Syndicate ranks high among them, as do the Dark Four. At least I would assume as such, as the Dark Four have interfered with the other heroes that have come and either fallen or given up. Is there more that you would know?
Apologies, this is a lot of information to take in all at once.
Yes, of course. Learning that not only your freedom, but the very lives and existence of an entire world is in your hands is a lot to take in. While you all ruminate on that, give me a moment. Let me take a look at my young friend here. And he will walk over to Curator and will put his hands underneath and will say a few words in a dialect that you don't quite grasp. Jodie, you recognize like a word or two, and those words are scan and location. And this magical circle forms over his hands and underneath little Curator, and he begins to continue chanting those same words. The circle starts to spin, and Curator's kind of like bobbing up and down for a while, and then it goes still. The lights, the pinprick of light then fans out and becomes those several dozen points of light that begin to swirl about. And for a few moments, he kind of stares in confusion. And then several other runes begin to appear above Curator. And Jodie, if you're looking over at those runes, you read them very well. Location unknown. Dark magic detected. Necromancy also detected. Unknown origin. unknown location of body. And then those runes wink out. And Mal shakes his head and releases the circle. Wow. That was both intriguing and frustrating. And Carrera, those pinpricks of light kind of come back to the singular eye point. Carrera turns to look at Mal and says,
Did you figure anything out?
"My magic could not find your body, little one. But your body is out there. It seems as if there's dark magic and necromancy somehow involved." And the other Carrera, her eyes go wide. "I don't like the sound of that." And
I don't.
no, go ahead.
No, that was Bryn. Bryn's like,
Oh.
that was me going, I don't either.
And well, Malik shares that sentiment. I don't like that either. And necromancy was never my speciality. However, I do know of a very powerful necromancer that might be able to give you some answers. And Iki and Callie share that look, or share one of those very, very familiar looks that you saw, Lysandra, that they know something. And Iki goes, "They're gonna have to go into the dead forest, aren't they?" And Mal shakes his head. "Yeah." And turns to the four of you. "This is going to be quite the ask, and I apologize in advance, as this is a little bit of a detour on your journey to defeat the Guided Dreamer and, well, save all of us, I suppose. But this is also important to us. Carrera is a dear friend and formidable ally. And while I'm sure he's somewhat delighted at his new body, we do not know how permanent this is or what the state of his actual body is. But given the magic that seems to be emanating from this device and from his spirit energy, I must ask that you escort him through the dead forest to the west. There is a formidable necromancer of great and strange power there that may have a good deal of answers for you. Her name is Alessandra Amelium, and she lives in a cottage on the northwestern edge of the forest. It is, in fact, her forest that you would be venturing into. I must warn you, because you are unknowns to her, and you are also unknowns to the forest. The forest is not called the Dead Forest for no reason. It is possible that you will face the undead, for one, ghosts, wraiths, other creatures. Last I checked, there was a wraith hound guarding the forest as well. I believe that you are able to make it through that forest. Call it a hunch. But I would not send you on this quest without your consent. Would you be willing to help our friend Curator?
Absolutely.
Jodie is killing for this child back on the table now.
This is...
Eh?
Yeah.
I'm...
It's on the table.
Yes.
It's here.
Oh my...
Somebody's... I'll tell y'all what. Sorry, conference. Huddle up, y'all.
And the bride joins the huddle.
Teacher conference.
Teacher
Conference.
And
Hallway little hubbaloo.
and
right.
Malik's like, yes, of course, yes.
That thing there said the body couldn't be found. Necromancy. I think somebody's just taken this child's body, and I'm not going to stand here and let something like that happen. That is theirs. Murder's back on the table.
Oh, thank you, Jodie.
Let's go.
I knew you were my favorite.
Well, that's Jodie kind of like just kind of adjusts her vest. Just
Magic Man, I am in.
I would genuinely hope that murder is a last resort. On the table, yes.
Oh,
but
hush.
if we can... Oh, okay.
Oh, hush. You know, dessert is served last, but it tastes the sweetest.
What an odd simile, which isn't inaccurate.
And if you're really in the mood for it, you can have it as the first meal of the day.
Okay, well...
And that you should treat murder for a child the same way, in my opinion.
Nope, that's where you... Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back a little bit. Murder should not be first resort.
Oh, come on. Lighten
That's
up, Lemon.
fine. It is fine.
Blaidd simply gives 2 thumbs up. And a big, like, a digital smiley face emoji appears on their face screen.
But yes, important magic man I am in. I'm going to kill for this child, or I would die for this child.
I would prefer that you not die for anyone, but very well. And you can just call me
The
Malik
child would be worth it.
Or Mal. The important magic man seems like a lot to doesn't really roll off the tongue well.
Would you rather me call you Magic Mike? I think you have some abs under there that you've been showing the king.
What abs I have to show my wife is that's I mean, you're not wrong, but that's not important. that is less important. Mal or Malik would be fine. And you see...
I know, I just wanted to see...
You see this very familiar, like, look of frustration that you have seen on your world's Malik several times.
I missed that look. I missed causing that look by accidentally exploding something.
You have seen this look before.
Occasionally. It's fine. I shall call you Malik.
Very, very well. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Well, that is good. Well, we will get you rested and outfitted, and then once you are equipped, we can send you out into the forest, or send you out towards the Lysandra, and yes, you have your first quest, I suppose. And Curator kind of floats up around you and kind of spins little metal wings kind of opening and closing.
Thank you so much. The more answers I can get, the better, and hopefully the closer I'll get to bringing my body back.
Yes. Malik, one more thing. Could you get me a beginner's guide to necromancy, maybe?
I can find you a text, yes. That should not be difficult.
Okay. Is there one that maybe has, like, sparkly notes? You know, the abridged version to explain in simple terms that I can understand?
I'm sure I can find
Like
one.
an annotated?
I'm sure I can find one for you in our libraries.
Okay, I need to be able to make a necromantic dancey dance to thus impress the witch in the forest. To make her friendly towards us, maybe.
Yes, I can see what I can do.
Also, bones for the dog. Treats for the puppy.
Oh, I know just the woman that can get you the bones you need.
Yes. Jodie, can we adopt the hellhound puppy?
Now, a hellhound puppy is a big responsibility. Are you gonna take care of it?
I mean, duh.
Are you gonna feed it? I don't know. What does a hellhound puppy eat?
I don't know. I assume we are going to find out.
Emerald.
I was thinking that, Malachi could use a puppy.
Oh, well, a puppy's a big gift to give somebody too.
It is, and also, like Jodie said, we don't know what they eat. We don't know if they
Malik raises
urinate
his hand.
magma.
Oh, yes.
They eat.
Thank you for raising your hand.
They eat souls. I know how to behave in front of teachers.
So we're not gonna feed it soul.
I mean, you could feed it the souls.
We
of
have
your
our
enemies.
position. We have. See?
You could feed it the souls of your enemies.
Yes. The beautiful king's consort and this very important magic man, aka Malik, is making good points.
There is
Wait,
also...
we're feeding the king soul to the hellhound? What?
No,
No.
he is the king's consort.
I'm
He is making a good point, is what I'm saying.
Oh, we won't
Yes.
feed you to the hellhound.
I appreciate that.
No. We will teach the hellhound to let you give belly rubs, though.
Also, if you
you
learn necromancy, there, I believe, is a spell in there where you can facsimilate a soul. I guess to the hellhound, it would kind of be fast food, but it would still work all the same.
Okay, I mean alright. That seems like
If you really have a squeamish stomach about feeding it actual souls.
That'll be fine.
How often do hellhounds need to eat souls?
I don't know. That would probably be a question for Lysandra, though.
Fair.
Yes.
I just want to make sure that we're not having to, I don't know, feed it 2 or 3 people per day.
That's fair. That's very fair.
I mean, but then we could speed run to the Guided Dreamer if we just feed all of our enemies to our hellhound.
You're implying that we're going to have that many enemies.
There's an entire guild that is against us, and 4 big ones.
Maybe we could talk to the guild and get them on our side.
I will let you try that then, while I feed them to the hellhound.
Okay, well that's gonna hurt relations, I'll tell you that.
And as you all are having this discussion, and at this point, like, the others are joining in, the camera will pan away. And will pan out of Dawnseed. Rise above it. And will begin to pan westward. Across the Luminarium River. Through the Serpentine Mountains. Where you'll find what looks like there used to be a community of kobolds that have thus been rooted out. And into the dead forest. Through these petrified trees. Around these colonies of will-o'-the-wisps and other strange necrofied beings. There are creatures that look like amalgamations of several different creatures, but made entirely of bone, that wander about, wraiths floating amongst the trees. And a very large, horse-sized, skeletal dog covered in blue fire. And walking beside the dog, on very large chicken legs, is a cottage, strolling about. And a voice coming from within the cottage. "Oh, look at that. They are coming." And that is where we're going to end our session. So thank you, everyone, for listening. So many cool things have happened. You got your first, you got a direct message from the guided dreamer himself. Carrera's missing little brother has appeared as a soul now trapped inside of a construct of his own making. You've met the Archmage of the nation of Solin, a man who bears a shocking resemblance, a scary resemblance, to a teacher you knew back on your world. And you've met the Archon of the Circle herself, and learned quite a few things, like that she was one of the first heroes, or that she was with the first group of heroes that got summoned to this world. So many questions to answer, so many things to learn about this world. We will save that for another time. Thank you so much to my players for being amazing as always. Please, listeners, please check out the beacons link in our show description to check out all of these amazing creators and see who they are, what they're doing, and what wonderful content they have out there. Once again, joined today by the amazing, the gorgeous Madness Diamond, the ever so eloquent and velvety Bardic Sweet Tea, the iconically obscure Brynniursa, basking effervescently. And I, of course, as always, I am Sphinx Akashaa, your current champion of Bards. Selkie Cove, who could not be here. We miss them and hope that they'll be able to join us for next session. I'm sure they will. Once again, big shout out to our affiliates at Friday Afternoon Tea. If you want a very cool selection of nerdy teas as well as some traditional teas as well, check them out at fridaytea.com. Use code Multiverse, MULTEAVERSE. Hopefully the mouse doesn't come after me for that. Yeah, like I said, check out our beacons for our Ko-fi, as well as our Discord, and check out all the things that we're all getting ourselves up to outside of and with the Everbright Archive. Yeah, until then, everyone, thank you so much for walking the storied path with us. And as always, may the dice roll ever in your favor. We'll see you next time. You have been listening to the Everbright Archive, a TTRPG actual play anthology series. This episode is from the campaign The Last Story. Your cast has been Madness Diamond as Lysandra Agni, Selkie Cove as Blaidd Laoghaire, Bardic Sweet Tea as Malachi Davis, Brynniursa as Jodie Bank, and Sphinx Akashaa as the Storyteller. For more information about our wonderful cast, access to the show's Discord server, or if you'd like to support our show via Ko-fi, please follow the Beacons link in the show's description. We hope you continue to follow us as we continue to walk the storied path. May the dice roll ever in your favor.
Will this be the tale I tell when the world stops turning? With each child